Yes. What's happening? What's happening? What is happening, people? Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, November 12th, 2023. And welcome to Moe-Ments with MoeSghetti. Where my claps at? Hold on. I am your hostess with the mostesses, MoeSghetti herself. Your auntie, sister, cousin, best friend, always coming with the realness. Your spiritual and mental health guide. Welcome to the show. Hey mom, checking the comments. Mom Sketty is in the building on time. My biggest fan as usual. And y'all already know where to find me every week, every Sunday at 3:30 Central Standard Time. The Tone Deaf Network here at the Sherman Phoenix. Shouts out to Tone. Shouts out to the studios. Shouts out to all the TDR and all the wonderful broadcasts that we have on this network. I do spiritual and mental wellness, but honestly, there's such a wide variety of podcasts and shows that come through this space that grace these mics with some really insightful and really uplifting content. So I encourage you all, if you haven't explored through TDR, I'm not the only one here. It's a whole network full of people with look, some of it is fun and carefree, some of it is riveting and insightful. There's a whole smorgasbord of activity that goes on in the studio, and I'm really happy and proud to be part of the TDR network. So y'all check it out. Ooh, okay. So we get into church announcements today. I done hit the table and moved the whole everything. Look. What's the TDR info? You can find TDR on Tone Deaf Network Radio on Facebook, I believe on Instagram as well. And if you're trying to send an email, TDR podnetwork@gmail.com if you're trying to get to them directly. Is that enough? I wasn't planning on dropping their info. I always just drop mine. Anywho, so let's move on to the church announcements. I'm really excited about the announcements this week. I feel like I haven't had like good quality announcements in a little bit, but I have some. I got exciting news. I have exciting news. Excuse me, I'm a bit of a fool. I've got some exciting news coming from my desk this Wednesday, November 15th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I, MoeSghetti, will be a guest on Hitting Hard Radio. So Hitting Hard Radio is a radio broadcast. You can also find them on YouTube, and I will be sitting with Sierra Williams, who's the host of the show there, and we'll be talking about mental wellness. So I'm really excited about it. I'm used to being on this side of the mic, so it's been a while since I've been interviewed by anybody before. And he and I linked up. He's seen Moment with MoeSghetti. He's really happy and proud about the things that I'm doing here, and he invited me to be a guest over on his show. So I'm really excited about that. When the promo materials come out, I will share those with you guys so that you know how and where to tune in. And I'll probably just share the YouTube to my Facebook profile so you guys can see that if I happen to not be able to connect you guys with the promo material. But I'm really excited about that, to be speaking to the whole city and beyond about mental wellness. So I'm excited about that. I feel like MoeSghetti is growing and reaching out and branching out to so many more exciting new adventures. So I'm just really proud to be able to tell you about all of them so you guys can ride the ride with me as we go along. So I'm really excited about that. Hitting Hard Radio this Wednesday, November 15th at 10 a.m. I'm going to be on the radio and not just my own show. Hey, don't you love it? Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Ah. All right. And the next thing I'm super excited about, Saturday, December 16th at 6 p.m. at the Muse 33 Visual and Performance Arts Gallery. Your hostesses with the mostesses, MoeSghetti herself, will be presenting a Christmas spectacular variety show. It's going to be magical. It's going to be full of wonder. It's going to be full of sparkle and Christmas cheer and joy. We're going to have a holly jolly good time, and I'm really excited about it. Some good friends of mine will be coming through, of course. You know, my Uncle Danny's going to come through and help out with some vocal things. My good friend John Stanford is going to be on the program. I'm really excited about how this thing is coming together. So I really encourage anybody who's interested in coming out and enjoying the festivities. It will be December 16th at Muse 33 in Milwaukee. Tickets are going to be $10 if you visit Eventbrite. MoeSghetti I have these things posted. I've already begun posting these things on my socials, so that you guys can take a look at what I have going on. I'm really excited about it. I've got some other friends and some good surprises and exciting things happening. So I'm ready to get my Christmas cheer on. I'm ready to get, tis the season. Now, I'm normally one of those people that are like anti-Christmas until after I get my Thanksgiving dinner, but since look, I got somewhere for y'all to be. Okay. So y'all got to be in the place. 6 o'clock doors open, 7 o'clock is showtime. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a Christmas spectacular variety show. You look, if you know me, you know I'm a little extra. If you know me, you know I'm a little corny. If you know me, you know I'm a little whimsical. When I'm in a good mood, my feet barely touch the floor, and I'm excited to take y'all on a Christmas wonder journey with me. So Saturday, December 16th. $10. That's all it is. $10, $10, $10. Come support. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Can you tell I'm excited about it? Because I'm excited about it. All right. This is my first time ever putting on a production of this sort. So I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. And the pieces are really coming together. So I'm look, you guys are going to enjoy yourselves. Period. So come through. Use 33. Visual and Performing Arts Gallery, West Allis, Wisconsin. That's that. Shouts out to Keith King, the owner of that space, for collaborating with me and assisting me in doing this. Yeah, it's been years in the making. I've been wanting to do a Christmas show for a while, and also, like, if you know me, just I get full of Christmas cheer. I love reasons to celebrate. I love the holidays. I love birthdays, and so this is just another opportunity for me and some other people who I know to showcase our talents, for those who are willing to join in on the festivities. So it's going to be a great time. And I've already got look. Okay, I'll tell y'all about my future plans as my future plans come to fruition. So don't even worry about all that. All right, and the last church announcement that we have is one I've already made before, but it's go time. AM PM. Anthony McGahee and Praise Motivated will be having our 26th annual anniversary concert. I'm really excited about that one as well. When I talk about rehearsals and working hard, we are working hard on this concert. It's going to be a grand old time. I wish I could tell y'all more about what's going on, but I'll just share share this with you. We'll have Vashawn Mitchell as our guest on program. If you don't know who that is off the top of your head, you know that song, Nobody Great. Nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Yeah, that guy. That guy is going to be in the building on December 29th, AM PM 26th anniversary concert. Tickets for that show, $25. Look, I have tickets for AM PM. I got tickets for MoeSghetti's Christmas all with me at all times. So if you need a ticket, let me know. $25 for AM PM 26th anniversary concert. $10 for MoeSghetti's Christmas Spectacular. MoeSghetti's Christmas Spectacular variety show. $10. So I have both. And look, let's have a good time. I know that's a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. I know I'm asking y'all for money for these different events, but they're 2 weeks apart. You got $10 for this time and $25 for another. You got a whole 5-6 weeks to get it together. Let's go. Tis the season. We're gonna have a holly jolly good time to end off this 2023 season. All right. So with that being said, I've been rambling on about the church announcements already for 10 minutes. Let's get into the show. I don't have my hydration, so we just gonna have to do this dry. Okay. So today's topic is all about alignment, divine alignment specifically, but all about being in alignment. So, I was talking to my brother. I was telling my brother about the story about how my best friend and I met. And I was telling him how my best friend and I met one of the first weekends I was in college. My best friend Leather. One of my first weekends in college, I was sitting in my dorm room. Didn't really have too many friends yet on campus because again, it's probably like weekend 2, maybe 3. And nowhere really to go because I hadn't, met people a lot on campus. I really hadn't found my space or my place. So I'm sitting in my room and I'm watching of of all things I was watching Trapped in the Closet. Sitting in my room watching Trapped in the Closet. Really just kind of feeling a little alone in the world. And then she stepped into the room and was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm watching this thing on my computer," not knowing whether or not she would even know what it was that I was watching or have any idea. I figured she would know who R. Kelly was because, but Trapped in the Closet was such a niche thing to be watching. Is this dramatic production, and I hadn't, things had, it was 2006, so the way that the internet operated then versus the way that the internet operates now was just a little different. The way that things went viral were just a little bit different. And so she, white girl from Minnesota, no offense, I didn't know whether or not what I was watching had even touched her part of the world. And so I'm watching and I'm like, what is, no, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm just watching this little thing. And she pokes her head in and she's like, "Trapped in the Closet? What chapter are you on? I made it this far." And starts to really dive into like what this whole thing is about. And she sits down and she joins me and I'm just watching her watch it because I had to go back a little ways. I'm watching her watch it. And in that time period, I'm like, who is this person? Where did they come from? Why are they here? I think I like them. A friend. And he told me I need to tell this story on the show because it wasn't about just somebody coming to keep me company. It wasn't about just somebody watching this arbitrary thing on the internet with me. Um, it was that in that moment, I was given somebody who truly saw me, who truly understood me, who was genuine in their affection. I was given company that I didn't even know that I needed. I was given understanding that I didn't know that I needed. I was given so much in this person, and I didn't even know at the time that I needed her. And I didn't even know at the time that I needed that. I didn't know at the time that I needed that memory. And I was appreciative of it because that moment right there is what catalyzed a very, very long friendship. It's 2023 and her and I have been roommates. We have, she's watched my kid. I watched her birth her child. I was in her wedding. I've got keys to her house where her and her husband stay. Like, we've gone through so many things in life and we've been there for each other through some very dark times and some very bright times. We've been there to celebrate each other. We've been there to motivate each other. We've been there to protect each other. We've been there to push each other. And there was so much that came out of just coming together in that moment. And so it made me think about just how we even came together and how the pieces of the puzzle were so perfect in that moment that they were used to solidify that this is somebody who needs to be in your circle who will understand you. Um, the pieces of the puzzle came together so perfectly without me even realizing it because I was in alignment with where I needed to be. She was in alignment with where she needed to be. And those elements brought us together and have taken us far into life. And so I wanted to talk about alignment because if you go back to how I was feeling the last time I recorded, I did not feel like I was in alignment with the life that I have stepped into and the life that I desire. And there are things that happen to you when you are in alignment with your life with the life that you desire and when you aren't. And so I just really wanted to explore this subject because it could be difficult to figure out what you should be doing. But with a little bit more of diving into what it means, what is alignment and what it means to be in alignment, hopefully it'll help you and me with some better decision making and some clarity about where we are and where we're going and what it means to really be in divine alignment or not. So I want to start off with a couple of definitions because y'all know I like my definitions, so to make sure that we are on the same page with what we're talking about. So we'll start with the word alignment. The definition of alignment is agreement in, oh, excuse me. Look, I wrote it. I can't even read it. Alignment, arrangement in a straight line in correct or appropriate relative positions. So arrangement in a straight line in correct or appropriate relative positions. And then the word divine means of, from, or like God. Of, from, or like God. So to be in alignment means basically to be lined up with something, to be arranged in the direction of something. Now, if you in the spiritual circles, you'll hear things about being divinely aligned and things like that, but people don't always express exactly what that means. And then sometimes when we talk about being divinely aligned or being aligned with things, we think about different laws or rules. We think about different just ways of being holy. And then we have assumptions about what our life is going to look like when we are in alignment with those things. And so what I've come to understand is that when you at all times of your life, no matter what you're doing, every decision that you're making, every action that you take, every step or not step, every decision or non-decision, every word you speak in every place you go are in alignment with something. Everything you do, every choice you make, every word you order or utter is in alignment with something. Now, what it is in alignment with may or may not be favorable to you. But at the end of the day, your actions are in alignment with something. And so we have to be mindful and we have to be careful about the way that we live our lives and the things that we say and the places that we go and the decisions that we make, because no matter what we're doing, we are lining ourselves up with something. You know, they say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. The reason why that is insane is because when you are doing something, you are lining yourself up with a certain result. You're lining yourself up. You are in alignment with a certain outcome. And if you would like a different outcome, then you have to line yourself up with different actions in order to get this different outcomes. If you are in alignment with one thing, you're going to get a lot of that same, you're going to get a lot of those same outcomes out of that situation. If you go to McDonald's and you order a large fry, you should get large fries at the window If you end up with chicken nuggets, that's not how that works. Whatever you position yourself in is going to lead to certain types of outcomes in your life. And so when we're making our decisions about how we want to live our lives, good and bad, up and down, smart or stupid, um, where we're living, where we're pointing ourselves, our decision making, the words that we say, the places that we go are going to line us up with certain types of outcomes. And so it is our responsibility to make sure that the things that we're doing are pointing us in the direction of the type of outcomes that we want. Otherwise, we're going to get whatever we get, or we're going to get outcomes that we don't desire because we haven't lined ourselves up to get those types of outcomes. Now, your alignment could be divine, or it could not be so divine. It doesn't necessarily have to be demonic, but if you are aligned up with things that are demonic, then expect chaos to come out of your world. But one of the things that I've come to understand too, though, is that just because you have aligned yourself with divinity doesn't mean that you're not going to experience any type of bad things or chaotic things in your life. And that's because of how alignment works. Whatever you're doing and whatever you have going on, that's in alignment with wherever you're going, you will receive help in that alignment. You will receive help in that alignment. So for me, I have a podcast. I've been doing this. Look, I started the bare bones of this 2 years ago. And now I'm associated with the Tone Deaf Network. And now I'm going to be on Hidden Heart Radio because I've aligned myself with the podcast, with the radio broadcast world. And so I receive help in those areas because now that I'm lined up doing these things, the things that will aid me in accomplishing what I've lined myself up with are available because I'm existing in those spaces, are accessible because I'll be looking for those types of things while I'm in those spaces. They become part of my vision, part of my focus because I'm in alignment with those things. If I were an athlete, I might not be sitting here in TDR unless I was doing a sports podcast. Why? Because the gym would be more in alignment with what I'm going. But also, if you're doing things destructive, you will also receive help in that alignment. You won't do drugs. You're going to be in alignment with trap houses, drug dealers, addicts, the streets. Where that's, they say that, like, I used to think that, that it was something false when they were like, marijuana is a gateway drug. Well, the reason why marijuana could be a gateway drug is that when you're in alignment with that drug, you might be in alignment with a drug dealer who has access to other drugs, who could get you some. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to open that gate and walk down that way. But the things that you're incorporating in your life are going to bring about assistance and aid and atmosphere for those other things that exist in that direction. No matter what you're doing, whatever you've aligned with, you're going to receive aid in executing whatever is down that path. Now, the beauty about divine alignment is that when you are in alignment with what God has for you in your life, He will send aid, assistance from directions that you're not even expecting in order for you to do His will. That's the beautiful, beautiful thing about being in divine alignment, is that you get like extra superpowers to make sure that you can get this thing done. You will receive the assistance. You will receive divine assistance. I truly believe that I was divinely aligned to meet my best friend because I don't know if I would have made it through undergraduate without her. I don't know if I would have the esteem that I do without her. I don't know what her social life, what her personal life would have been like without me. We've looked out for each other quite a bit. She used to take me to Walmart so that we could make sure that we had laundry soap. Like, who was gonna help me get my deodorant without my best friend? She had a car. Like, who knows what I would have been able to have access to without being connected with this person in these different circumstances. And God will bring about God will bring in people, places, things to aid you in a divine kind of way when you are moving in alignment with him. So I discovered that you will receive help in your alignment. I also discovered, though, that if you are aligned to go a certain direction, if you are walking in a certain way, things that do not fit with the alignment of that lifestyle will be destroyed. Things that do not fit in alignment with that lifestyle will be destroyed. If you're living this good, and I don't know why, I don't know why drug addiction is so heavy on my heart when it comes to these examples, but if I'm talking to somebody who is still suffering with addiction or is considering or has begun to be heavily involved with some drugs, I need you to listen up. The things that you are aligning yourself with will destroy the things that are not in alignment with that. So if you're out here and you're living a life of crime and addiction and chaos, it will begin to destroy everything in your life that's orderly. There are some people who are in positions in life and they end up not tearing apart everything because they've gotten far enough in their life before the addiction thing have set in to dismantle everything. But the reason why things are begin to be destroyed is because they don't fit in that lifestyle. So if you're in the streets, having an upstanding, legal, clean, holy lifestyle is just not in alignment with you. And everything that's associated with that will leave from you, will be dismantled, will be destroyed. You might destroy your family. You might lose your job because being high all the time, it doesn't really fit in alignment with going to work every day. You know, being up all night and out in the street, it really doesn't fit in alignment with you being home with your family and your loved ones and taking good care of them. And so the things that don't fit in alignment with that lifestyle will be destroyed. Now, on the other hand, if you are divinely aligned and you're walking in the way that God will have you to go, and you're real serious about that, God will destroy those things that are outside of the alignment with that too. Now, this is why sometimes we turn our lives to God and we try to surrender to him, and then we get nervous and we get all messed up because it feels all chaotic around us, because God is destroying and dismantling those things that aren't going to fit in alignment with him. Sometimes that means friendships and relationships. Sometimes that means that you can't stay on that job that you're on. I'm a testament to that. I had a job once and I wasn't doing too well at it because I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in what we were selling. I felt like what we were selling would be harmful. And but I needed the money. It was good money. And I said in my heart, you know what, I'm gonna just put my head down and just sell with I'm not gonna put my heart into it. I'm gonna just sell it so I can get my paycheck and be able to feed my family. And God said, no, no, and took me right out of that environment. Why? Because he knew that my heart was in alignment to do well and do good for people. And he knew that I had made the decision in my heart to disconnect my heart from my work for a paycheck. And he said, no. And he terminated my position there and moved me elsewhere. Because when you're walking with God, he's going to destroy the things that are out of alignment with what he has for you. Now because he is God, he going to bless you and he going to make sure that you got everything that you have. But you have to be on the lookout for what's actually happening when you give your life to God, when you give your circumstances to God, and the things that start to flow in your life and the things that start to flow out of your life. Because it could be that the destruction, the dismantling, the things that are falling down around you are moving away from you, because the trajectory that you have put yourself on will not fit, will not accommodate, will not be in alignment with those other things. That's why you have to pray every day. That's why you have to connect every day. Because every day, every move, every action puts you in alignment with something. This is why we're supposed to be hot or cold and not lukewarm. Because when you're lukewarm, you're not in alignment with anything. You're not picking a path. You're not choosing a destination. You're just out here. And you create confusion. You don't have any specific direction in which you're going. You can neither build things nor destroy things if you haven't made a decision about what's happening in the first place. If you haven't aligned yourself with a certain amount of actions, you come up as a hypocrite. You look inconsistent. Why? Because you're everywhere. You're not in alignment with nothing. And that is how you become in alignment with stagnation. You take a step forward, then a step back, and a step back, then a step forward. Guess where you are in the same spot. And so for me, back to my example with my best friend. I'm at this school in the middle of Iowa. I need somebody who's going to care for me. I need somebody to care for. I'm the eldest. So I got a gang of siblings. I'm not used to not taking care of nobody. And we found each other because I dared sit still long enough. Because I dared to sit there with my room door open, because that was the culture on the floor. You leave your room door open, it invites people in to come to arbitrarily walk by and poke their head in and say, what you doing? You want to hang out? I could have been in my room with the door closed, and that would have taken me completely out of alignment with making friends. I could have been roaming around the campus by myself. It would have taken me completely out of alignment of being connected with other people. I could have not shared what I was watching. It would have taken me out of alignment with connecting with folk. But because I was trying to find myself, because I didn't know what to do, but I was still open to making connections and relationships, I positioned myself in such a way to where God could line things up for me to meet one of the best friends in my life, one of the greatest people that I know, one of the sweetest people that I know. She ain't even on here, and I'm on here talking about her. She gonna fuss at me about not talking to her and finding time to talk about her on my show, but it is what it is. I'm planning a Christmas show for December 16th. I wanted to do a Christmas album last year, but I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel like I had the tools. I didn't feel like I had the resources. I didn't feel like I had enough people that I knew to even garner a halfway decent audience, to be fair. But I knew in this year, 2023, that I wanted to work on my artist development, because I've been an artist all my life. Been singing and dancing and doing the most all my life. Really rather formally or informally all my life. From dramatic plays with my Barbies to singing in my uncle's make believe choir. Like, artistry has been a part of my life my whole life. But I stepped away from it because life commanded that I be a little bit more in alignment with parenting, be a little bit more present with my child, be a little bit more present with my career. And I aligned myself to be, I went to school, now I'm a therapist. I aligned myself to be, yeah, I've been in school plays. I aligned myself to be uh, something other than an artist. And when being an artist was brought back into my life, I wanted more and I wanted to develop myself better as an artist. And so I've begun going to open mics. And by going to open mics, people have heard, have experienced me singing, have experienced me writing poetry, has just experienced me storytelling and being present on the mic. And those who enjoy my talent and those who enjoy my personality have been drawn to me. We've been drawn to each other. Why? Because we're in alignment in those spaces where artistry can take place, where creativity can flourish. And now, really just a year after becoming much more involved in the artist world, I've made friends who are artists, who believe in me as an artist, who are willing to offer me their space to participate in my artistry, to display my artistry, who are willing to come in and help in the foreground and the background of whatever it is that I want to do. Like, had I not put myself in alignment with being an artist by making sure that I stay on top of my artistry when I'm singing with AM PM and making sure I do my vocal development there, had I not been writing and attending open mics, had I not been hitting stage and connecting with people, I wouldn't be in alignment to be able to grow my artistry, to grow my creativity. I wouldn't be able to have this sort of outcome that I'm having now because I haven't put myself on that trajectory. And so it really is about that. And I completely feel like this is all within divine alignment because the way in which I've been able to connect with different people who I've never met before and we have just clicked in a real way, in a spiritual way, in a heartfelt way. Um, there's got to be something in someone greater with their hand in that because it's just been too easy and too smooth. And so I'm really appreciative of that. And I really encourage like anybody else who is trying to change their lives. And this really goes back to a lot of the things that I talk about. If you're trying to change your life, you're trying to upgrade your life, you're trying to improve something in your life, you want to develop some piece of you want to get out of something that you're currently doing. Is that you have to align your behaviors and your patterns and your words and your thoughts with that thing that you desire. Going back to the attic thing, you know, I've told you guys before that my parents, my mom and my stepdad are involved in a 12-step program. It's what helps keep them in alignment with their sobriety, especially in the beginning phases when they were trying to get out of their addictive patterns. Going to the bar, to the club, will put you right in alignment with drinking or drugs. But going to your meetings and talking to your sponsors and going to the sober and clean events will put you in alignment with having a clean and sober life. Like I said, whichever direction you'll go, wherever you find yourself aligned with, you're going to find the resources, you're going to find the help to align you with that. So you can go to the bar and have no intentions of drinking. And then somebody orders a round of shots or a round of drinks. This isn't an uncommon occurrence. This isn't a thing that just doesn't happen. It happens. Or even if they don't order a round, somebody might buy you one. Now you're drinking. Somebody might have something to smoke. Now you're smoking. Somebody might have something to snort. Now you're snorting. Somebody might have something to shoot. Now you're shooting. Or you can make the decision in those same situations to align yourself with, I don't want to do that anymore, so I'm going to put myself in environments where that's not conducive. So you go to your 12 step meetings and you're going to find the help there. You get your sponsors there. You get your support there. You get people who've been in your shoes to testify and guide. You get your 12 step book. And all of that puts you in alignment of living a more healed, a healthier, sober, clean lifestyle. If you want to go to school, if you want to get your education, if you want to learn things, and I broke it down like that. If you want to go to school, you want to get your education, you want to learn things. Yeah, maybe you can step into a school and go to class. Yep, and you will get educated there. But that's not the only way. You want to get educated, you go to the library. You want to get educated, you go to the internet. You go order some books on Amazon. You read, you fill yourself with knowledge. And that is how you grow in the area of that knowledge. And as you grow in the area of that knowledge, you'll find yourself, hey, you can find yourself reading a book in public. Somebody be like, what's that? I know that book. Or you might find yourself in a situation where you've read a book or you know the type of information that somebody else does, and you find yourself communicating on that subject. You find yourself joining groups of people who are knowledgeable about that subject area. You line yourself. You find some people at the library who are teaching a class on what you're looking for. If you line yourself up with whatever you line yourself up with, it's showing the trajectory of where you're going to go. And you will find assistance in that direction, whether it be constructive, destructive, or stagnant. If you don't believe that you can change, if you don't believe that you can grow, if you believe that what you're doing is the end of the line, the end of the road, this is all there is for you, you won't look for more. You won't grow more. You won't entertain anybody who's trying to change. And you will find yourself in alignment with stagnation. You will. And now, sometimes when I am in session with my clients, especially if they've dealt with depression, or anxiety for like a long period of time, sometimes it feels a little hopeless sometimes because you've been dealing with it for a long time. And sometimes it feels a little hopeless because it might take a while to dig yourself out of what you've been in. But that's why we work on being in alignment. We work on lining up, and we work on walking in that direction. Because when we do things that are just, when we jump in instead of lining our lifestyle, when we jump into something instead of lining our lifestyle with it, there's a likelihood that we'll fall out of it. Like people who do crash diets, they jump in, they jump out. Like they lose weight and they gain it all back. Why? Because they never truly lined up their whole lifestyle with it. Maybe they lined up their actions with it for a while, but because they hadn't built foundation underneath it in their alignment, once they got out of alignment with that lifestyle, then they fell right back into what they already knew, what they had roots in, what they grew foundation for with, and they gained their way back. But that's why they say like weight loss is a health, it's a lifestyle, because it is. You want to get weight off, you want to keep weight off, there's certain things that you're going to have to do to be in alignment with that. I can't be in alignment with weight loss and eat 6 double cheeseburgers a meal. That's just not in alignment. That just is not going to yield the same the type of outcome that you say you want to yield. And if that's what you want to do, McDonald's will probably start sending you coupons through the app if you order enough of those double cheeseburgers. They will help. You will find the help you need. You think that them burgers won't get made? You would absolutely find the help that you need. And everything that is not in alignment with that will be destroyed. Your waistline will be destroyed. But if you do want to eat healthy, if you do want to find yourself in alignment with that, you will start to build. And when you build with alignment, with support, with foundation, when you're walking a certain path, Even when you don't have the best handle on it all, your life will still roll in that direction by default. I was driving here today and I was thinking about the word alignment, and I was thinking about how you get a steering wheel alignment in your car. And when you're aligned, when your alignment is proper, you can take your hands off the steering wheel and still go straight. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And if you want to test it out, make sure you test it out in a parking lot where there's nobody by you and you're going like 5 miles per hour. Don't do that. Okay? Because you're not going to say, MoeSghetti told me to try this out, and you get in a car accident, you got to talk to me about your insurance company. I ain't doing all that. But if you've ever driven a car, whose alignment is off, you ever driven a car whose alignment is off, you take your hands off the steering wheel and watch how you watch how you can feel it when you're driving, because you gotta force it. You gotta force it because it's out of alignment. It's taking you elsewhere. But when you're in alignment, even on those days when you don't have the most effort and energy to push yourself, when your lifestyle is in alignment in a certain direction, it will continue to roll in that way. Y'all know me. They call me church girl out here in these streets. They call me church girl because I really be in church every Sunday. But do you really think I want to be at church every Sunday, all 52 every year? Nah. No. All 52. It's at least like probably like 40 of them. 48. Some years maybe even 50. But all 52 every year? No, I don't. 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 I would be sitting here lying saying I wanted to be there every single Sunday. Now why? Because sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I've been on the road too late. Sometimes I have a headache. Sometimes I don't feel good. Sometimes the devil is on my back and I just don't feel like it. Sometimes there's a whole lot in my head and I'm completely distracted. But you know what my life is in alignment with? My life is in alignment with serving God. My life is in alignment with going to worship. My life is in alignment with going to church. And so even on those days where I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling up to it, because my life is in alignment in a certain direction, it'll still flow in that way. I still have the habits of getting up and getting ready and going. And I know that I'll feel more edified when I leave, be it through the message directly from the pastor, or be it through the fellowship that I get from my fellow Christians. Because my life is in alignment that direction, even when I don't have the greatest of handles on things, I'll still flow in that way. And because consciously I have the desire to flow in that direction and I've set my life up to go in that direction, I get help to make sure I stay in that direction. Let me tell you, a couple years ago, see, now people know that when I'm not at service, I'm usually sick or I am out of town. But a couple years ago, before people like knew that about me as an adult, I missed a couple of Sundays. I think I was out of town one Sunday. I was sick another Sunday. Like I missed maybe two Sundays at my congregation, and people called me. People called me. I was not expecting that. People called me. And not only did people call me, when I did show back up at church, people were like, "Where you been? You a every weeker?" Oh no, we was worried. They were worried. They were worried that something happened to me, be it physically, mentally, spiritually. They were actually concerned about where I was and what I had going on, because I've been so consistent, because my life had been in alignment with that, because my life had been in alignment with attending church, with worshiping, with connecting every week. That when I went missing, my help came right on in and said, "No, we're not going to lose you. Not to these streets." And everybody else, ooh, speaking of alignment, and then everybody else knows, don't call me on no Sunday morning because I'm not gonna be available. Why? Because that's the way my life is aligned, the way my life is set up. That if somebody calls me on a Sunday morning, they know they finna leave a voicemail or they just text me expecting me to see it later. And because of that, I never get pressured. But I never get pressured. I never. We gonna ask God to continue to put a hedge of protection around that. I never get pressured to not go to church. The closest thing I got pressured into not going to church was people do try to get me to come to their church. People do try to get me to come to their church, but I don't see that as pressure to not go to church. I took a class once. It was a weekend seminar, and we did have to be there Saturday and Sunday. That was about the closest thing to pressure to not go to church. And even then, I think I still figured out how to go and get my abbreviated service in before the day was up. Why don't I get pressure to not go to church? Because the way I've set my life up, the way I find my alignment, that those who would who live a lifestyle or who would try to convince me to not go to church on a Sunday have been eradicated from my life. So things that are not in alignment with the trajectory that you're going on will be dismantled, destroyed, and eradicated from your life. Now, don't get it twisted. You can always get yourself out of alignment of where you're going and go fit back in alignment and bring those things back. Not always. A lot of times, depending on like if look, you do crack and your wife divorces you just because you get clean on me, she coming back. Like, let me not get your hopes up. But yeah. But there are things waiting in the wings for you to get out of alignment and go get them. So it really is up to you the way that you want your life to look. My granny was telling me the other week that people don't want to pay their dues no more. People don't want to start at the bottom and work their way up anymore. They want to start at the top. People don't want alignment no more. They want glory, is what I heard. They want the finished product. They don't want everything that it takes to build up to that. But the sustainable things, the things in life that have roots that are unshakable, those things are built through lining yourself up and walking that way until your whole life looks like that. It's built from having the vision of what you want and daring to get tuned in that direction. It comes from making yourself available to receive what that life has to offer by participating in things that will put you there. By answering the call was calling you in that direction. By stepping forward and stepping up fearlessly when it's time to change. By allowing the things that are not in alignment with where you want to go to be destroyed as necessary. Even if it is things that you think you want, even if it is things that you think you like, even if there are things that you have found comfort in. Because ultimately those temporary things that you might find comfort in, if they are not in alignment with the overall life that you're trying to live, you're not going to find joy in that. Or you will if you find joy in that. Like you sometimes you got to choose to sacrifice the things that you're currently finding enjoyment with for the things that you want greater pleasure from. But be mindful in the other direction too. If you're aligning yourself with a lifestyle that you ultimately don't want to live, the things of good, the things of positive may not be able to stay with you because you're no longer in alignment with those things. Those good things don't fit in your life anymore. Sometimes we can't keep it all. Sometimes we can't keep everything. We got to line ourselves up with what we want. where we're going, what we desire, and be intentional about it. We do it on purpose. Do it on purpose. And when those things are destroyed, don't look back. Don't turn into no pillar of salt, Lot's wife. You don't even get no name. You just Lot's wife. Where they were going was safety and freedom. She turned back. She was aligning herself with everything that needed to be destroyed. And she messed around and got herself destroyed too. That is never even supposed to go into Sodom and Gomorrah because it was going to align them with stuff they ain't had no business participating in. So that's where the self-awareness of what we want out of our lives come into play. What do you want out of your life? What do you want it to look like? Are you lining yourself up with that? And if you are, make sure that your small actions, your large actions, the way that you speak, the way that you move, equate what you say what you want. If not, you're lining yourself up with something different and you're going to get what you ask for, you're going to get what you work for, you're going to get what you're lined up with. Period. And I think that's all I have to say about that. So I did not dip into the comments too much, but I see my friend Bria popped in. Hey girl, hey. Another friend that I've met along the way that without certain pieces of alignment I'd have never came in contact with. And hello, I don't know if you guys are still in here, maybe not. That's my AM/PM soprano sister. Look, she gonna be at the concert with me on the 29th as well. Turn it up. I love you guys and I appreciate you being in here and spending a moment with me. So let's go ahead and pray it out. And I'll let you have your Sunday. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. First of all, I thank you for being God. I thank you for leading me and guiding me and putting this message on my heart for whoever it is that needs to receive it, including me. I ask that you be with me on this day. You be with all of those who are under the sound of my voice, and may they be blessed. May they have clarity. May they have insight. May they have you as they are going along whatever journey that they're going on along in life. May you align their footsteps to meet with your will. May you comfort them as things not of your will are being destroyed. May you give them hope in your presence and faith. In Jesus' name, thank God. And amen. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all spending a moment with me. As always, if you would like to give me any financial appreciation and support Moment with MoeSghetti, you can hit my Cash App up at #MoeSghetti. Buy me a coffee, buy me a card, whatever's in your wallet, whatever is in your heart. I have my affirmation cards done. So if you're interested in purchasing any of those, let me know. If you have any questions or comments or topics that you would like to cover, you can email me at moesghetti@gmail.com and I will probably check my email and address it online. So, if y'all want to do a little Ask MoeSghetti, go ahead and hit my email or hit my inbox and I'd be willing to do that. And with that being said, thank you for spending a moment with me, MoeSghetti. I appreciate you all. God bless. I'll see you next week. You listening, Tone? Take me out, Tone. I see you listening.